In a hospital, where newborn babies were supposed to be the safest, something terrifying was happening. Healthy babies were suddenly collapsing. Some stopped breathing, while others died without any clear reason. Doctors were confused, and parents were completely devastated. But the most shocking part was that the person responsible was not an outsider. The killer was someone they trusted the most. This story takes place in the quiet city of Chester, inside the Countess of Chester Hospital. Among the staff was a young nurse named Lucy Letby. She appeared kind, calm, and extremely dedicated to her job. She worked in the neonatal unit, where fragile newborn babies required constant care and attention. Parents trusted her with their children, believing they were in safe hands. To everyone around her, she seemed like the perfect nurse. At first, nothing seemed unusual, but then small incidents started to happen. A baby who was stable would suddenly stop breathing. Another would collapse without warning. Doctors rushed to save them, sometimes successfully, but not always. These cases were initially considered medical complications because in neonatal care, unexpected situations can occur. However, as time passed, these incidents became more frequent, and a disturbing pattern began to emerge. Many of these emergencies happened during the same nurse's shifts. Again and again, one name kept appearing in the reports: Lucy Letby. At first, it seemed like a coincidence. Perhaps she was just unlucky. But as the number of cases increased, the idea of coincidence started to feel impossible. Doctors began to feel uneasy. Something didn't seem right. Concerns were quietly raised within the hospital. However, accusing a nurse, especially one with a clean record and good reputation, was not easy. There was no direct evidence. No one had seen anything suspicious. It was just a feeling. A growing fear that something was terribly wrong. Meanwhile, the incidents continued, and more babies were affected. Eventually, the hospital could no longer ignore what was happening. The police were called, and an official investigation began. Medical records were carefully reviewed, and staff schedules were analyzed in detail. As investigators looked deeper into the data, a chilling pattern became clear. Lucy Letby was present during a large number of these incidents. The police then searched her home, hoping to find answers. What they discovered raised even more questions. There were handwritten notes, documents, and messages that suggested something was not right. The investigation intensified, and experts were brought in to examine the medical evidence more closely. After detailed analysis, a horrifying conclusion was reached. These were not natural deaths. Some babies had been injected with air, while others had been deliberately poisoned. All of this happened while they were under her care. A nurse, someone trained to save lives, was intentionally harming the very patients she was supposed to protect. The news shocked everyone. Parents, doctors, and the entire community struggled to understand how something like this could happen. Lucy Letby was eventually arrested, and the truth began to unfold. The idea that someone so calm and normal could be responsible for such horrific actions left people in disbelief. But perhaps the most disturbing part of this story is that it didn't stop immediately. Suspicion had existed for some time, yet action was delayed. This raises a painful question. How many lives could have been saved if someone had acted sooner? In the end, this case forces us to think about trust. Hospitals are places where people go for safety and care. But this story reveals a darker reality, that sometimes the real danger is not outside. It can be right beside us, hidden behind a normal face.